impact of crime and violence on the Tobago community has been felt by many. And so it is important that when we look at the issue, that we have a holistic view from the perspective of those who are the victims as well as those who are the perpetrators. Let's listen now as we hear what they have to share with us to better understand the realities of the situation.
The situation in Tobago now, everybody want to be a superstar. Everybody want to be a superstar. As they come out, as they grow and get big, they want to smoke, they want to pull weed, they want to hold gun in their waist. I can tell about it because I've been there, I've been there, done that already, you know.
When you say everybody, wait a minute, break it down a little.
All the youths, right now in Tobago, right now, all the youths, them smoking. They're passing the street, children still going to primary school and they're smoking. If they're going to Plymouth right now, you see youths walking with weed in their hand and smoking. Like they don't care about nobody again. Why I say, you know, people are turn to the father. They turn to the father and you use where they get help.
How is it so widely available?
Like,
Where do you get from?
Across the waters, it's the traffickers, it's the smugglers. Even if the law-abiding citizens does bring it and put it off to the one who doing it and them knock back. So it starts from the small guy, you know. It starts from the big guy because them does bring it and give the small guy. Them name out of it, the small guy you go call. Yeah, so when them name out of it and the small guy can come right through, the police come behind the small guy and they watching the men who bring it. It's the men who bring it there to watch. That is this problem when you drug thing in the Tobago. Because the big boy on them, the government big boy on them in high places, them trafficking the guns in the country. When they want to come around and see if a person loves crime and they come across here and see, well, I could make it across here, but doesn't people come across here and say Tobago too slow for them. Tobago very slow. Trinidad have more pace than Tobago by far, and Tobago very slow. But for the ones who really want to go, who afraid they're dead, who afraid they're dead in Trinidad, you know what I mean? They run across here and still come to a little small crime because they know they would not really happen to them, they will get locked up, they'll get in and come back out. They come across and do a crime and do a small crime, and you know small crime is a big crime. When you come on doing small crime, you find that small crime ain't paying enough. You evade and you go to bigger crime. And that's really cause the crime in Tobago.
Is there any fear of lockups?
Fear, like when I say fear.
Is there any fear among persons who in this lifestyle of getting locked up? Is that a real fear that...
No, well, I can talk for me. I can talk for me. Yeah. See that last prison term I make there? Yeah. They really inject it into me. They really catch me good. They changed my whole entire style. Because I get to realize now, because normally, before, I would not do this. I would tell my phone, miss me on time and on this. No. Honestly, I've been honest here, you know. I normally tell miss me on time. But I have time because right now I'm studying the Bible now and I'm living on the Father, living on the Lord right now. So anything come my way, when it's positive for me, I willing to oblige to it because it didn't make no sense that I get enough time to think in prison and come back out do the same thing, go fall back in the same job again. I have friends, right miss? I have good friends I need to go in prison and come back out and I still have friends out here. And my friends and them on the wrong side of the law.
Currently the crime situation in Tobago is terrible. It's real terrible, you know. When you hear about all this sort of crime, I mean, I say even myself being a victim of crime, it's really heart-rending right now in Tobago. I mean, even if I can give you an example, about a couple of months back, right by my neighbor, right here, about 3 o'clock a morning, there was a man that was trying to open her window. Luckily, she wasn't here, right? And we got up and try to call the neighbor next door to let them know like there was somebody there trying to break their place. But unfortunately, the man happened to walk out and go. So we didn't get the person. We tried to call the police, but we really didn't get through with the thing. So.
Well, the current crime situation in Tobago is escalating as regards robberies, because I'm in business and We put measures in place like cameras, we put burglar alarms and so on, but these guys have a way of getting around these things. Like for the cameras, they come masked, and they probably thief your DVR on when they're leaving. You know, that kind of thing, so you can't have any pictures of the event. And they sort of learn to disarm the security system. Because there was an incident where they took out the meter, TNTech meter from one of my buildings, just so that they could dislodge the security system and go in. And so the thing is getting bad. These guys, they improve their knowledge in crime and they're attacking us full force.
After hearing the various perspectives of crime and violence here in Tobago and the various levels of involvement, we now have the opportunity to speak with the man on the street and see what is their view of crime here in Tobago.
Would you say that visitors to our island are affected by crime and violence in any way? And if so, tell us how.
Well, not much, but I know 1-2 times they are affected by robbery, and well, they want to be violent, but not much. Nothing to come to really talk about much. Yeah, well, someone might leave the post carelessly, or sit down carelessly also, and they might lose it. That's right, yeah, that kind of way.
In Tobago, we supposed to be a tourism-oriented island, and these days, petty crimes such as stealing from the tourists, which is not very good for tourists and us, is happening. It's more prevalent than before. So I guess as time goes by, it will get worse. So it needs to be addressed at this point in time.
Have a problem, yeah, but I shouldn't say, now that I'm thinking about it, it's not like a bad problem where we're killing one another. It's not like that. You understand? It's not like where people are that people getting robbed. Yeah, it's not that kind of problem.
What's the problem?
It's just interaction, as I was saying, between the young and the older generation, and that's it. The younger generation feel like they owed something, and the older generation feel like they should work for it, and it's some kind of clash. That's as I seen it again. Because how I pattern myself, right, in the sense that there was some work for it. Since I'm young, I live on my own, so I know anything you had to get, you had to work for it. And just this morning, I tell my partner, I seeing youth men around that's not working, not like they're watching me eat and they're not full. So that causing them to be angry and rebel.
Right. And tell me about that rebellion. How is that acting itself?
There are plenty youth men I see around here, right? That just wrong here. It has everything for them to follow. It has all the direction. It has somebody doing everything wrong here. It has electricians. It has somebody doing something. Even if it's like you're looking to be something as a youth man, it has somebody to see doing it. And I don't know I feel it's marijuana, boy. I don't know. I feel the smoking too much here as youth man. I really don't know. I don't know. I can't say what. I'm qualified to say what causing that breakdown is. But it has everything out here because I can't say it's the government fault. Because it has self-help, it has grants, it has different programs, it has my lot, it has CCC. As a youth man coming out of school, it has all. I didn't utilize it because I didn't study it at that point in time. I wasn't even thinking constructive at that point in time. But I seen it now, so now that's why when I sit down and try to analyze the whole thing, it's just a breakdown between in Tobago here though. Not in Trinidad, a whole different thing. In Tobago it's just a breakdown between the young and the old.
Well, I do not think the crime situation is all that bad. Of course, any instance of crime is cause for concern. But compared to other places, I do not think that the crime is all that bad. We can be better, of course, and we should be doing things. But I do not think that we should alarm ourselves unnecessarily.
With regards to the crime situation, we should be concerned, but crime always existed in Tobago. It's just that now we have more incidents of reported crime, now with the advent of social media, everybody's Facebooking or videotaping or posting a picture of something that's against the law. It's more observant now, at least it's more in the public's eye. You know, back then there was domestic violence, back then there were chopping incidents, but now people are actually putting it out there now for social media purposes, for fame. So, and then people actually have more confidence now somewhat, I think, to come forward and report crime. So it's more reported crime, not just a rise in crime.
The crime in Tobago, it should stop, and everybody's supposed to be living as one, like a family in Tobago.
Is crime a problem?
Because it doesn't see that like every time, like every day, like how Trinidaders have it, like every day hearing somebody dying and somebody killing. It's mostly like the drugs rate in Tobago that everybody, all the young people them start to smoke weed, and it affecting older people that they doesn't have no respect when they smoking the weed. No, I do not feel safe as a young person in the community, because you're getting up to come out the road to get something, and then you're only seeing a house that are young boys seen down smoking. Then afterwards they start to fight amongst each other and things like that, because I don't know if it's the weed not functioning right with them or something, because it affecting everybody in the road. When they see people, when they smoke weed, they see people and they're troubling people, older people, and they're having no manners for the parents at home. So is the parents' fault really, because they are seeking interest into the children. Because if parents seeking interest in the children, then the children will be outside smoking.
My view on crime basically is that I believe that over the years, serious crime in Tobago have increased, but not significantly. However, other crimes have existed a very long time, and even today in its capacity, it is now being more or less reported more than it used to then. Yeah, so crime did exist in Tobago. You know, over the years, however, more serious crimes are now being more significant or more popular, I would say.
Well, even in Tobago here, you're hearing a lot of break-ins, murders. We never used to have that long ago. You know, you see a lot of strange people. Long ago, you almost knew everybody in the community. But now you're seeing a lot of strange people passing. You don't know who they are. They could be criminals, they could be good people. So I don't feel that safe. You're sort of a prisoner in your own home.
Well, living in Tobago for the past 65 years, I feel comfortable and not so comfortable. Because where I'm living in Milford Court, I feel really safe. Because my neighbors, we look out for each other in Milford Court. Because usually if we see someone passing around we don't know them, your phone must ring. And one neighbor will call, you know that somebody, you know that person? Where you going, up or down, and you will peep out. And then we on the phone, and then we will say, no, we ain't know that one day, girl, I wonder where you come out. You know, so I feel kind of comfortable where I'm living. And for me personal, I have a lot of young people friends. A lot. I am not showing off, but I am highly respected in Milford Court area.
Yes, they would say this is a block, and because of you will have some drug use taking place and all that, but that is throughout the country, right? So yes, that's the reason why they would say this is a block. But I would not say Bethel is a high violence, high crime area that it is led to believe throughout Tobago. It's just that in the past they would have some unscrupulous persons, and when I say unscrupulous persons, throughout the community would have gone out to other areas and done certain acts that people were saying are Bethel people. So I'm going to clear it up a bit. You know, we in Bethel, we don't have that level of crime that is being that Tobago is viewing us as it is, you know. And even in the last event that CSP had held with the talent on stage, you know, seeing that we came out and we represented, and we did a good share. So you can see that better. We have the talent up here also, right? As other Tobago do have, the other part of Tobago do have. What we need in Tobago to help in Bethel, to help with us showing the rest of Tobago that we are not as bad as they put it, is that we need more programs like that, like the talent on stage, so that we can show the rest of Tobago that, you know, what we have to offer also.
Well, here is where it comes to an end for most. The criminal justice system plays a significant role when we examine the crime and violence issues of Tobago. We had an opportunity to speak with attorney at law Martin George about his views of the crime situation in Tobago, the role of that the attorney plays in this whole scenario, as well as the rights of the victims and the perpetrators. And when one looks at what is happening with society today, where does it all begin for us as we treat with the issues surrounding crime and violence in Tobago? Let's hear what attorney Martin George had to say.
Well, in Tobago, from an attorney's point of view, it may be a good thing if it is that crime is up, but I mean, on a realistic and more practical and pragmatic note, it's of concern to all of us as citizens, because it's a scenario where we recognize that, number one, the personal safety and security of the ordinary resident in Tobago is not what it used to be. In other words, the years gone by, we would have felt a certain level of comfort whereby we can, you know, leave our doors open, our cars open, and you just simply cannot do that again. The attraction of your cell phone, your purse, your wallet is just too much for persons to resist anymore. So therefore, we have now, you know, ramped up our personal security levels by trying to, you know, take measures and safeguards against, you know, such a casual and carefree approach that we had previously. But on another note, and from an economic standpoint, if you have instances of crime and criminal activity reaching and touching visitors to our shores, particularly, you know, tourists from overseas, then you have a serious problem, because as you saw with the situation with the Greens, there's the potential to give this widespread coverage internationally. And then of course you have the scenario where you have the negative travel advisories emanating from the embassies and diplomatic missions, which again now impacts negatively, because most of the foreign visitors, they do their research before they come to a place. They want to check on all those things, and if their own country's mission or head of mission is advising against coming to a place, or advising, if you come to this place, beware of crime, beware of criminal activity, then that's never a good thing for us. So, you know, from that perspective, we are not happy at all, and we must all be concerned as citizens of Tobago if it is that criminal activities and the increase. Another aspect of it that we have to consider is the fact that there is a marked under-reporting of crime and criminal activity. In other words, there are several instances I know of where people have spoken to me privately, given me details of things which have happened, break-ins, robberies, these kinds of things. And the persons, they are just so jaded, they're so frustrated, sometimes they're so afraid that they don't even report the matters to the police. They just take their losses, take their licks, and they just move on. So therefore, let us not pretend to think that, well, you know, everything is, you know, perfect and it's, you know, all peaceful paradise, if it's not. We have instances, particularly in the Montervin area, you have instances in the Stonehaven area, Grafton area, where you've heard of so many things occurring. And these are areas that I think the police ought to ensure that they give special emphasis, so that you have a greater presence to help reduce the level of criminal activity.
The decisions you make today influence your future. You determine where you want to be. Make the right choice. Stop. Stay calm. Start thinking. A message from the Ministry of National Security's Citizen Security Program.
One bite. I want to play.
Oh, you can do that, boy. Oh, you can do that, boy.
Stop the violence and abuse. Stay calm. Start thinking. The Ministry of National Security's Citizen Security Program.
I'm Samantha John.
I am Nadia Batson.
The incredible Myron B.
I'm K.I. Chucky Gordon.
Hi, my name is Sheriff.
And we are Freetown.
And I'm urging each and every citizen of our beautiful country.
It's time for us to put a stop to crime and violence in Trinidad and Tobago once and for all.
In Freetown, we believe that every citizen has the right to life. We need to be responsible not only for ourselves but for others as well. I think the only way to counteract any kind of fear is to inject love.
We have the power to stand up, to unite, to stay positive, and to win back our country. Build a culture of lawfulness, peace, respect, love, harmony.
The Citizen Security Program.
Stop the violence and abuse.
Stop the violence and abuse. Stay calm.
Stay calm. Stay calm.
Stay calm and start thinking.
Start thinking.
And start thinking.
A message from the Citizen Security Program. Stop the violence and abuse. Stay calm and start thinking.
Kisha, you know this girl coming here?
What's that?
I can't remember her name. But if you hear the kinds of things this girl is be saying about you.
Serious? Like what?
Girl, all kind of things.
Go study it. We go fix that. I hear you talking about
What
me.
you hear me talking about?
Huh?
Don't worry, y'all back up. Y'all back up here. Y'all back up.
Stop the violence and abuse. Stay calm. Start thinking.
People talk, yes.
The Ministry of National Security's Citizen Security Program.
No, I'm not ready for that.
Stop. Stay calm. Start thinking.
Okay, cool.
Later.
A message from the Ministry of National Security's Citizen Security Program.